Hello, darlings. You're welcome to Z Star Africa, your home of sizzling drama recaps. Today, we dive deep into Rishi's emotional love confession, the drama that follows, and Janak finally standing up for herself. Let's get into it. It all begins with Indumati telling Pudal to find a job abroad like her brother so they can live peacefully. Pudal says she also does not want to stay there, but she is doing so for her father's sake. Tanushree tells Janak to take care of Aditi and her needs. Janak asks what she should do now, and Indumati tells her to go and ask Aditi about her breakfast and to give her detox water. Neelu also asks Janak to make breakfast for her later, and Janak leaves with the detox water. Indumati says she does not understand why her husband brought Janak into the house. Tanushree suggests keeping Janak busy, while Neelu adds that they should make sure Janak leaves the house. Arshi tells Anirudh that she heard Rishi also supported Dadabhai. Anirudh replies that he cannot fight against Rishi. Arshi says Rishi is behaving as if Janak is only his responsibility and questions why Anirudh took Janak to the hospital. Anirudh explains that Janak cannot come between Rishi and Aditi. Arshi warns that Janak will turn out like Newton, and that history is repeating itself, declaring she will not stay silent if Janak tries to ruin Aditi's life. Anirudh tells her to do whatever she wants but not to trouble him, saying he has already gone against his moral values for Aditi. Arshi asks why Newton once said Anirudh was Janak's father. Anirudh says he does not know, and that Newton is no longer alive to answer. Arshi fears Janak may demand money in the future, but Anirudh insists Janak never forced him to accept her as a daughter. Arshi says Aditi cannot tolerate Janak in the house and should never have married Rishi, but Anirudh reminds her that Aditi married Rishi out of love, and that Rishi loves her too. Arshi insists Janak will be like her mother, and Anirudh asks her not to speak ill of a dead person as he recalls moments with Newton. Arshi asks why Janak is staying in Kolkata, and Anirudh explains she is preparing for the NEET exam. Arshi mocks this, but Anirudh defends Janak's intelligence and says Aditi's failure does not mean Janak will fail. Arshi then decides to bring Janak to her house and make her the maid. Janak enters Rishi's room and sees Rishi and Aditi sleeping on the floor. As she turns to leave, she drops the glass of detox water, waking them. Aditi scolds her for entering without knocking, and Rishi also tells her she should have knocked. Aditi warns Janak never to enter her room without permission. Janak explains that Indumati sent her to take care of Aditi's needs, admits her mistake, and apologizes. Aditi accuses her of pretending to be innocent and spying on them. Neelu arrives, Aditi complains, and Neelu scolds Janak until Rishi intervenes and asks them to stop since Janak has already apologized. Later, Rishi apologizes to Janak privately, saying Aditi overreacted, though Janak should have knocked. Janak says she will apologize again and tries to touch his feet, but Rishi stops her. She explains she thought Aditi would already be awake and that Rishi would have left for work. Rishi apologizes once more. Chetan and Rumi arrive at Anirudh's house, where Arshi declares she will bring Janak there. She plans to invite Aditi and Rishi for Ashta Mangal and ensure Janak handles all the preparations. Rumi asks if Janak will agree, but Arshi says Janak needs a place to stay, which they will provide. Anirudh doubts Dadabhai will agree, but Rumi supports Arshi, while Chetan objects, saying it is wrong to make Janak a maid. Arshi insists Janak already is one, and Chetan questions what if the rumor about her parentage is true. Janak tells Rishi not to apologize on Aditi's behalf and says she understands Aditi's anger, explaining this is why she wanted to return to Similboni. She decides to leave, but Rishi asks if she is going over a small issue. Janak replies that it is about her self-respect. Rishi urges her not to be angry and reminds her that people love her. When Janak asks who, Rishi names Dadabhai and Pudal and admits he even fought his family for her. When Janak asks why, Rishi says he loves her and explains there are different kinds of love, promising to always fight for her. Janak laughs, thinking he is joking, and tells him to focus on Aditi since he cannot defend her in front of his wife. Rishi admits his mistake and encourages Janak to fight for herself, saying he will be happy if truth wins. Janak asks him to think about Aditi's happiness, but Rishi says he wants truth to prevail and asks her to focus on her studies before leaving. Arshi tells Chatan not to interfere, while Chatan questions why villagers would lie. Anirudh stops the argument, stating Parashar is definitely Janak's father and that Janak is not his daughter. He agrees Janak can come with them if she wants. Arshi orders the servant to clean the outhouse and thanks Anirudh for supporting her. The next day, Anirudh and Arshi arrive at Rishi's house and are warmly welcomed by Dadabhai. Tanushree says she expected them. Pale asks why they brought so many gifts, and Arshi replies it is their first visit after marriage. Dadabhai says they always bring gifts, but Arshi taunts him about accepting expensive ones. Indumati invites them to eat and lists the traditional dishes she prepared, but Arshi says they do not eat such food. Neelu calls Janak and asks her to bring Aditi downstairs. Aditi comes down happily upon seeing her parents. Arshi asks about Rishi, and Aditi replies that he went out for important work and will return for lunch. Arshi demands coffee and scolds Janak for standing silently, ordering her to heat water. Pudal suggests Janak may not know how to make Arshi's coffee, but Arshi snaps that she did not ask Janak to make it. Janak says she can prepare many unique dishes they have never tasted, which offends Arshi. She asks why no one is reacting, and Dadabhai points out that Arshi is insulting Janak. Abhimanyu remarks that Dadabhai always supports the weak. Anirudh asks Arshi to say what she came for, and she reveals that Janak should stay with them until her exams and live in the outhouse. Indumati supports the idea, and Anirudh says they will take Janak that day if no one objects. Aditi sees no problem, but Pudal insists they should ask Janak first. Arshi refuses, saying Janak is getting a place to stay. Neelu agrees with her, but Dadabhai says Janak cannot be taken forcefully. Janak asks if she is expected to live as a maid in her father's house. Aditi tells her to shut up, but Janak firmly states she will not accept Anirudh as her father and refuses to live as a maid. She says she does not want to stay at Anirudh's house at all. Rishi arrives and learns of the situation. Aditi threatens legal action, but Rishi reminds her the law is equal for everyone. Janak repeats that she does not want to stay there. Dadabhai explains he brought her so no one could forcefully take her away. Aditi threatens to leave if Janak stays, accusing Rishi of choosing a third person over her. Arguments escalate until Abhimanyu suggests Rishi stay with Aditi in the police quarters. Janak agrees to go with Anirudh and Arshi. Rishi tells her to stay there if she wants, and when Aditi questions his indifference, he says he asked her to stay but cannot stop her if she chooses to leave. Janak announces she is going with Anirudh and Arshi. Pudal begs Janak not to go, saying her father would have helped her with her studies. Janak asks Pudal not to worry and says she will visit but will not return. Pudal says Janak is hurt because Anirudh refused to accept her. Janak replies she does not want a father like Anirudh and declares Parashar her true father, praising him for the love he gave her despite not being her biological parent. Pudal asks her not to meet Dadabhai before leaving, fearing he cannot handle it, but Dadabhai arrives and tells Pudal not to question Janak today. Janak tells Dadabhai she wants to stay but cannot, explaining she tried to assure Aditi that she was not trying to break her marriage, yet Aditi refused to trust her. She says she cannot stay where daily drama happens because of her and tearfully says she will miss them. Dadabhai asks why she thinks he cannot handle Aditi and Rishi's issues, and Janak replies that everyone hates her. Pudal tells her she is thinking about everyone except Dadabhai, but Janak insists she must leave so others can live peacefully. Hearing a car horn, she leaves. Dadapai tells Pudel not to stop her, and Miss Tai notices Janak forgot her books. Arshi brings Janak to her house and tells Anjana that Janak will stay until exams. She orders the servant Suraj to show Janak the outhouse. Anjana objects, worried about boys staying there, but Janak says she can protect herself and pulls a billhook machete from her bag, saying it is for her safety. Arshi mocks her behavior, but Anjana supports Janak. Arshi scolds Anjana and says this is a city where such weapons are not allowed. Janak insists she needs it for protection. Arshi mocks her again, saying danger will not come and that no one would chase Janak for money she does not have. Janak calmly replies that she may not have money, but she has her journey. Anjana suggests Janak stay in the guest room and promises to keep an eye on her. Arshi says maids never stay in their house, but this time she will allow it. Janak says she does not eat free food and will work, pointing out that Arshi lied about this at Rishi's house. Arshi accuses her of talking nonsense and threatens to complain to Anirudh. Janak replies she could have ruined Anirudh's reputation by exposing the truth, but her mother Newton raised her better. She says Anirudh does not deserve her attention and accuses them of double standards before asking for her room. That's a wrap, fams. See you in the next. Much love.